Hello good people, this is Dr. Joseph Moremi and this is Save a Life, the only program that is saving lives, transforming lives, and thank you for your continued support. As we normally say, that service to humanity is service to God. Save a Life tunazidi kuokoa maisha. Save a Life tunazidi kubadilisha maisha. And thank you because we can do this on our own. But because you have shown, your kindness to us and to the people that we normally bring here. Tumeweza kubadilisha maisha ya watu wengi. Thank you. I can only say, God bless you na Mungu akuzidishie. Paul said that the more you plant, the more you harvest. Leo tuko Kiambu County na tuko Ruiru constituency. Tumekuja kutembelea our sister Monica, who has been sick for quite some time now, na amekuwa na growth imemsumbua sana, and she'll be telling us what she has gone through from depression, from friends kumpotea, close people nilimwambia wanampenda, marafiki wakadisappear, fika mahali mpaka amerudi nyumbani because the only people who can support her watu wa familia. She was doing very well before ugonjwa, but when the sickness came, ikamshukisha chini. And wale wamekuwa wagonjwa wana relate, they understand that ugonjwa yurudisha mtu nyuma sana. Watu wasemaga bora uhai, fadhali pesa ishe, but ugonjwa ishe, you can always start again. Monica is still fighting, bado endelea na matibabu, and we are here to support her na kuomba na yeye. Na I want to appreciate my friend Baruthi wa Thayu for, being part of her support, support, rally behind, and also calling friends to rally behind him. Wakam support na akaleta your support kwa Monica. Baruthi wa Thayu, God bless you. Na wale wamekuwa kimsupport, God bless you. Na tuzidi kuserve Mungu through humanity. Hello, hi Monica.
Hi daktari.
Uko salama?
Niko poa, tangangana.
That's the spirit. We can't give up.
True.
We can't give up.
True.
So basically tuambie, I know it has not been easy. Before tuambie how it started. Your lowest moment as you fight, ama during this journey. Your lowest moment.
My lowest moment. My lowest moment was, I think I've had two lowest moments. My first lowest moment was my second time when I went to surgery, and I was alone. Nobody was waiting for me on the other side. Nobody. So it was me, my doctors, and my nurses. That was actually one of the lowest moments of my life. Up to now, I can never get over that day, and I cried a lot actually when I was going to the theater. To an extent, the doctors stayed like a period of 45 minutes before they even induced me, because they were even concerned I was crying. And I told my doctor, I feel lonely because nobody had taken me to hospital that day, and nobody was waiting for me. And that is the day I told the doctor that I really do miss my sister, because if she was there, she would have been with me. That was then. Then my second lowest moment was some close friend of mine, very close friend of mine that I really trusted. She would what will I say? She would tell people that now this is, at that time I'm here in the house, I'm on bed rest and everything. I just called her like the way you call a person, you're desperate, you're hungry, you don't have food, you have medication. So I called her up. So she texted a few friends and asked them whether I told them that I am hungry and my medications is finishing up. So the other friends were kumwambia yes. So she said that kwani, that's the word she used. Kwani sina watu wetu. She texted. Then the person she texted was someone who really supported me when I was going surgery. I will not mention his name because he's at least someone who is known. So he took the screenshot and sent me and told me that when I am reaching out to people, I should know who I'm reaching out to. Hiyo kitu ilinishikisha. I just felt, I don't know. That night, I really cried and I told God that if this is suffering that I'm supposed to do, then I don't think it's worth it. Those were my two low. I have had so many lower moments, but those were my worst low moments.
Pole sana. And tell us about your depression.
So I suffered depression in 2022 after I lost my sister, because most of the people who know me and knew my sister knew me and my sister were very close. Actually, I usually say when my sister died, she left with part of me. When she went, she just went with a part of me completely, a part that I can never get back. So when we buried her in 2022, remember it was July 26, I stayed home for 2 weeks. Then I had to come back to Nairobi because I had things to do. So when I came back, I didn't know. I hear people saying that there is depression, but I didn't know what was depression. I actually thought people get stressed, but after like their things pick up, they are okay. So when I came back, I stayed like for 1 month. I had issues feeding during the whole process of after losing my sister. My mom used to force me to feed because I couldn't feel hungry. So when I came back, I stayed like for a month. I lost some weight, but I was just saying, it's normal. Maybe it's because I'm grieving. But what got worse was one day I went to the shower. When I went to the shower, I used to stay with someone, so we were in our house. So he was preparing to go to work. So I went he showered, then I went to shower. But then when I went to shower, I sat on the floor of the toilet, of the bathroom. I sat on the floor. Then the shower was on, it was very hot. So I sat there like for 30 minutes. I've closed my eyes and I have slept. And the shower was very hot. So this guy wondered, why is she not coming out? So he met me there. I'm just on the floor sitting down. I have slept. The water, I couldn't tell you where my mind was, or I couldn't really feel where the water was.
The body was numb.
My body was numb. So they got me out of the shower and I went to bed. Then he told me that maybe we need to seek help. But I told him, I think I'm okay, it will pass. But now I went to visit a friend of mine. He's called Dr. Kashoki Karaoke. So he's not a therapist, but we are very good friends. So when he saw me and we talked, he told me that he thinks I really need therapy, and I'm not okay. He's not diagnosing me with depression, but I need to be checked out by a therapist. Mm-hmm. So I went to, he gave me a contact. I called up, I was given a meeting. He said I go for evaluation, then he should get the feedback. So I went for the evaluation, and the therapist got back to him and said I'm in depression and it is deep because, you know, now this is a stranger you are talking to, so you're going to tell him everything.
And what were maybe the symptoms and how did it affect you?
The symptoms were I couldn't do anything. I was just, I shower, I sleep, I shower, I sleep. I couldn't do. Then I could cry so much because I remember that time I used to pray and tell God that if He lets me dream with my sister, like I don't even want to see her physically, but if He brings my sister in a dream and I see, she tells me she's okay and she's happy wherever she is, I promise Him I will get better. But you know, those things don't happen. So nilikuwa, I cannot eat, I just shower, I just sleep. And then I was like, my world is shattered. I'm at the end. I was feeling there is nothing left for me apart from death. I think that time I was wishing maybe I would sleep because so many times I told God, I wish we'd exchange positions with my sister because her should have been better. It would have been a chance for her to raise her kids. So you don't really know that you're fighting depression. Utafikiria tu you're down, things are not working, and Mark, depression is not about money. It's not. It might be about the greatest loss you have ever gone through. It might be about love. It might be about so many things.
Yeah. And in your case, you're saying you lost your sister.
Yeah.
What happened to your sister?
My sister back then in 2019, in May, she was, what started was, she felt on her left, she felt lymph nodes, they had swollen. So she went to a clinic, I would say in Car West. But then when she went there, those guys told her that it's swollen lymph nodes, it's an infection. They gave her an antibiotic. So they kind of worked. But after the 2 weeks, they were swollen and so painful. So that's when we went to City Health in town. Then the radiologist there, she did some few CT scan and a few things, and the results, she wrote the results and told us and gave us a doctor at KNH, a breast surgeon. We go and see him. So we went. That's how we were sent for biopsy. That's how they knew my sister had breast cancer, stage 4.
So your sister had breast cancer. And just after a few years, you lost her? After how long?
We lost her after 4 years, but
after 4 years, you lost her.
Yes, because she got sick 2019 May. She passed on 2022 July 19th.
2022. Then when was your case diagnosed?
Last year April.
Last year,
yes,
April.
2023.
Tell us about your case.
So now, when I used to take my sister to clinics in 2022 early, because we used to do back-to-back clinics, I noticed I used to have very big breast, very big. But I noticed one of my breasts was bigger than the other one. And then I had an issue with the back. You see, like the way you sit upright, I couldn't. I used to sit like this. So I got a bit concerned. But then because my sister was unwell and we were doing back-to-back clinics, I thought, let me first deal with my sister.
You had to sacrifice.
Yes, but during that whole process of taking care of my sister, I went for a mammogram. But the mammogram, you know, now it was, I had thought something is up. I was told no, but they can see there are some masses on my breast. So now, secretly, without even telling there's a friend of mine called Flo. I told her that what I'm going through, and she told me maybe tunaweza enda clinic, both of us, then we can just, to be sure, like without anyone knowing, we can go. So we went to a clinic. I was done a CT scan, but when the doctor checked it out, he told me, no, those are masses, and there's a test that can be done to know what kind of growth that is there. So
and I can imagine all this time connecting with what happened. I know you're having a lot of things running to your mind. I can imagine.
Yes, so many things. And the biggest question I used to ask myself is I'll say it in Kiswahili, if I'm sick, si watu watasema tumerogwa, it is that thing. Then I was the most thing that was disturbing me was my mother. My mom told me that when you give birth so that your kids can bury you, but you don't give birth so that you can bury your children. So just imagining, if I do tell my mom, if this is the way that is going to go like my sisters, if I do tell my mom, I knew she wouldn't survive it. She wouldn't at all.
And now your fear is, what watasema tumerogwa? What about in your mind? Are you also having the same conscience?
Yes.
Maybe tumerogwa.
Yes, me had said, I will not lie to you, I'd said, if it is, I had said it in my mind, if it was really going to be that way, me, I would have committed suicide. I wouldn't have wanted my mom to go through watching what she watched with my sister, and I actually don't think my family could or can afford such a case again. We can't do. We can't afford it.
Wow. This is tough, and you can imagine that you lost your sister. She had breast cancer, and again now, and you have been working with her. You have the same challenge, same symptoms. Yeah, you can imagine what will be going in your mind. I know it has not been easy for her, and I think that is also what worsened now her depression. Just to fast forward, yeah. Is it your right?
It's my right breast.
Imekuwa ikifura. Imekuwa ikiwa kubwa, ikigrow bigger.
Yes.
Kitambo before hata your sister ianze.
Yes.
Si ndio? Then now last year nasa ukajua which condition. Si ndio? Is there a connection between now your breast and now the leg
No,
after investigation?
Yes.
Or is it on the right side?
No, it is on the right side, but it really not. Okay,
There's
the
no
doctor
connection.
said it's not connection, but that means because this leg I've ever had an accident with a long time. So I think because the surgery reactivated the issue.
Okay. And Pole, I know you unaendelea kutuambia, but as you said, you go to church. You have lost your sister, you have lost your son, you have lost your marriage, and now you are sick. You are again now. The family is now. Have you thought of going for prayers now?
What happened?
Is a lot. At a short time.
What happened is,
less than 10 years, and
I know, but what happened is, as I've told you, there's one thing that Reverend Ben Kiengei told me. He told me that he said in Kikuyu, I don't know, let me just put it in a summary. Ajerire hethi na uka there's a problem that comes to prepare you for bigger things.
wow.
And even the messages that he used to write me, he used to tell me that, let me tell you, your dawn is coming. But when your dawn comes, even people will be surprised. Akanambia, this is a bridge to bigger things. It doesn't mean that you're cursed. And it is true, there are people who have gone through much than I have.
And again, even Pastor Ben, through kupigwa, that's why pia amekuwa amefika hapo.
Exactly.
So that's true. And I remember I'm a scholar, I'm a scientist, I'm a Christian, I'm a believer. And for me, I get reference from the big book, the Bible. Genesis, if you read Genesis from chapter 39, there's a guy called Joseph. And Joseph in the Bible, umesema, it is true. Joseph, he had a dream because he had a dream as well. But akiwa na hiyo dream yake kubwa, alichukiwa sana the siblings. Akauzwa kama slave. Toa kuwa slave, enda akakuwa prisoner. But Bible inasema, But Joseph was with God. Alikuwa anakuwa prepared. At the end, he was second in command. He was the prime minister of Egypt. So whatever you're going through, even you are going through hard time, my friend. Anasema, God anakuprepare for bigger things which are coming. I love that. And you're strong.
Yes, and I know
strong.
that will be my testimony.
That's true.
Might not be today, but it will be my testimony.
Wow.
Yes. Because if you have come to realize that, you see, when the doctor was telling me, you see, when you're healing, and if you are not positive from your mind that you're healing, you not get well. Because that means you're not even mentally prepared for it. So now me, I've gone through. There sometimes I even doubted if really God do love me. You see the way you ask God, do you love me? But the moment that I am very, very, very down, something comes up. You know, like I don't even know whether I said this, but I was telling Baruthi that anytime that I'm at my end, that I have lost everything, like I feel I cannot wake up the next moment, God does for me something. Like now, for example, you, I don't even know how it happened. You see, like you saw my story, and it is the time that I was asking God, so now what next? What next? You see, like I cannot keep on. Baruthi, also you have so many cases in your head. Baruthi still, but he's the one person that I have really bothered. If it is food, I tell him, I don't have food to eat. Now you can imagine how many people you have and how many people are asking you for food to eat. So I think a positive mindset and thinking and knowing that things will get better gets you far.
True.
Me, even there's something I really want to tell you. You see, here, why, you see my landlord. I don't know whether my lord even watches this channel, but he's a young guy, he's called Albert. My landlord, last year when I went to hospital, my money finished up. I didn't even have money for clinic. So I stayed like 4 months. To December, I hadn't paid my rent. So the agents came and they switched off for me the lights. And you see the kids are around. Then my small nephew asked me, why can't you tell the landlord you've been sick, but you'll get money because you're not moving? I had texted my landlord and I told him I've not been feeling well. I told him get better. That day, I prayed, you know, like literally, this is his WhatsApp, because he's not direct calls because he travels. I prayed and I told God, I want you to touch this man as I text him. I texted my landlord and I told him, hey, I have been sick as I told you, and I even sent you photos when I was in hospital, but I'm not able to pay you rent now. And because of the kids, I would ask you to tell your agent to switch on the light. He called me via WhatsApp and told me, but why did they switch off the light? And they hadn't told me they are switching off the light. So he called them. I don't know what they talked about, because the caretaker came and told me that the landlord has said they should let you recover till you are able to pay. Actually, my rent is a lot, but he sees my effort. I pay him no matter how much small I pay him, so it goes carrying forward. So he wrote me a text and told me he's glad that I'm making an effort. I don't look at the amount, but I look at the effort that I'm making, and I take my time to pay, because it's not like I'm moving and nobody wants illness.
Albert, our landlord, God bless you. Mungu akupe grace. As you look for money, as you look for resources, Mungu akubariki. Familia yako Mungu akubariki, because God anasemaga, you bariki, you bless 4 generations. So meaning atakubariki, atabariki pia watoto wako na watoto wako. Asante sana kuvumilia our sister, because ugonjwa, kuna mtu will invite ugonjwa kwa life yake. Angetaka kugonjeka, angetaka kuwa hapo, angetaka biashara zake zianguke, angetaka kuwa hapo. She has gone through a lot, and that's why tumtembelea, tumpe pole, tuombe na yeye, na tuamini pia vitu zitachange. Yeye amesema kama Joseph in the Bible, from having that big dream, kuchukiwa na the siblings, kwenda kuwa a slave, kuwa prisoner, but at the end he was second in command. Mungu to prepare you to petition through, ni kama gold. So she is under making. Anajua at the end she'll keep to testify. So and normally yeye sana anaelewa. Alikuwa ananiambia before kuwa naelewa about depression. Sasa akisikia mtu kwa depression ndio kumsikiza zaidi. Angeelewa. Kuna vitu zingine unaelewa ukiwa hapa kwa hiyo state. Angeelewa mtu anasema ni msika, but amepitishwa hapo. So she understands better. So tulikuwa pale, umekuwa diagnosed, umefanywa surgery ya kwanza.
So venye nilifanywa surgery ya kwanza, nilikuja home. Sasa unaona venye nakaa, like I'm at 4th floor and I need to go to the clinics. So I think because of the pressure ya kushuka kupanda, my wound opened. So when my wound opened, I noticed a smell and pus kwa bandage. So I texted the doctor, nikamwambia, akaniambia go the next day we check, but sasa venye nenda kucheck alikuta my wound has opened. So akaniambia we have to go to theater again, ndio reconstruct the wound. Na that is the time I was telling you that was the lowest moment in my life, because aliniambia that day he was busy, he had a surgery, niende ni admit the next day. It is a day I went to the theater and I went alone, but I don't know whether...
You went alone to the hospital?
Yes, I went alone to the hospital, but I don't know whether I dreamt, but when I was at the theater on the table, because I really cried, and now they were not doing the inducing here, the whole body, they're only doing around the breast. So I really cried till the doctor asked me and the nurses, able to tell us what is happening, and I told them that I feel so lonely that nobody brought me to hospital, nobody is going to wait for me after I'm out. People will come and check on you, but you know there's that thing you go. Like I remember when my sister went for her mastectomy, I was in Nairobi hospital for the 4 hours. Even the doctor is the one who chased me out at night and said, I cannot see her after the surgery. We have to go in the morning. But that time was...
So in your case, you didn't have such a person?
I did have. Actually, I swear, this is real thing. I didn't have. And I cried. And at some point, when they were inducing me, I could feel... Have you ever felt... I don't know whether it's a dream or it's something weird, but I told the doctor that the tears I'm crying are not for me being really alone, is for the tears of knowing that my sister would have been there. At some point after the surgery, I was telling the doctor that I felt a warm hand. I don't know whether it was the nurse or the medicines were working on me, but I could feel my sister's presence. So hata nilifika to a point I stopped crying. But that was a low moment. I wouldn't even wish it on anyone, because right now, even I was just saying, by the way, I was saying that I would want to go back to school and do a certified nursing assistant, you know, like, or a caregiver, to, like, there are people who don't have people to be with them in hospital, because I never want anyone to go through what I went for. It's bad. It's bad.
Have you thought of maybe starting such a ministry? Maybe you think of coming up with such a ministry?
I was thinking of us getting trained.
To those who are neglected.
I was actually thinking of us getting trained. I was even Googling the
I think, for me, I'm thinking you should do counseling, so that you'll be there as a shoulder to lay, you know?
Yeah.
You'll be the person to support them.
Yeah.
To work with them. Because I understand you. I understand there are some people who are, you're better that you had to again run to your close family members. Sometimes you went home, you went back. I saw a video that you did at home. Ulienda nyumbani?
Nilikuwa nimeenda nyumbani. I went when I was doing that video for thanking Baruthi. I was it is a low moment for me, and I thought if I did a video and I sent it to him and I told him what I feel, then texting him, it would make sense, because that time my clinics had piled up. I don't have money, so I had just gone home because I can't stay here anymore. And then you see, my mom sold what she had to sell because of my sister, so she's not able to do so much for me. And I don't like talking about other family members because, you know, families are complicated. So that is the only person I can run to. But she wasn't able, she's not able to help.
Just take you back. But before I take you back, you surgery ya kwanza, you went to go back. You did now the second surgery.
I did that one for reconstruction. Then a month ago, I did another one.
You did another one again?
Yes.
For reconstruction again?
It wasn't reconstruction. Actually, it was not. It was a procedure. I don't really call it a surgery, but it also needed money. But Baruthi raised that. It was because of these two surgeries, I developed something called fat necrosis. So fat necrosis is like an injury of the tissue.
Okay.
But sasa it goes on by itself. But yangu ikaka, and it took time. So I could feel like something like a lump moving and moving. So there is a procedure the doctor did, and I went on a Friday. I went on a Friday. I came back out of the hospital on a Sunday, because I don't like staying in hospital because of the accumulating bills. Because at the end of the day, it is me who will know how to raise the money. I will not get anyone else to raise for me the money. And now I did. Then I had back-to-back clinics. That's how now I did that video to Baruthi to clear the bill of that procedure had gone. And we cleared. And we cleared the clinics that I had attended by then, that time. So now I've been going on and off clinics. Yesterday I had gone, and I'm going to go next week on Monday.
Oh, you have another clinic on Monday. Then again, tell us, mguu ilifanya nini?
Mguu, this leg, back then I had an accident sometimes back. But when I was done a surgery, when I did the surgery, I came out of hospital, I realized my leg started turning black. So they realized it was a clot here. But the doctor said the surgery might have reactivated a pre-existing condition on the leg. So I was using a leg support. Alafu kuganda. What is kuganda? Numbness. So ilikuwa na numbness. So sometimes you see I'm compressing it. That's why I'm compressing it. But sasa hii kuganda, I still have the issue with kuganda because but it's the leg. I still need to go for more checkup because mimi naganda, like mimi uganda from here to the waist down sometimes. But sasa hizi kuna baridi. But when there is jua, I'm okay.
Ni pesa vietapo. So we won't discuss about this, but what happened to your marriage? How long were you in marriage?
I was there for 4 years.
4 years, wow.
Yeah. It's something painful, and because we have some issues that are being sorted by
the court. You have a court case.
So I don't like
discussing it.
It was such a bad moment for me. So I don't like discussing it.
This also was it an catalyst to your depression as well? Because being in marriage for 4 years is not...
No, it wasn't.
That one?
That one, of course, after a heartbreak, ama kuachana na mtu na ulikuwa unampenda, you get very down in life, but that didn't lead me to depression.
What's your message to people who pia wameachwa wako na heartbreak? What do you tell them? Na wako wengi.
So kwanza nimecheka. Itaambia it gets harder.
Hata ukijana wangu wa kamera alichapa character development ajahi hakuwa nakula.
Chenye nasema ni it gets harder and harder. Nights get longer. Days get longer and it takes you. I always tell people me I'm a lover. When I mean I'm a lover is that when I love, I do love truly. But I am also the person that if I hate you, and I don't like hating word because it's just such a strong word. If I despise you, I despise you, I'm done. But a heartbreak can also cause depression. It's hard. Yeah. It's a rough time because you're used to being with a person. Yeah. Then what will kill you is that when you know the person has moved on.
Yes.
And it is not you, and you thought you're going to work it out. In
this case, he has moved on.
He moved on.
Oh,
when?
He was waiting like yesterday. Unasikia aliendelea.
Aliendelea na he was cheating on me.
He was cheating on. Lakini ungefight na wewe ndio. You don't leave. You don't
after ukiona, let me tell you something.
So who walked out?
I did walk out.
So you thought you'll walk out?
No, I walked out, and actually after I walked out, he gave me like a month. We tried sorting things out, but zile vitu alikuwa amenifanya through the process, it's someone I knew he couldn't change.
A question now, because I'm sorry, but you're a case study, and also the women who are walking out, and uli walk out, najua alikutafuta, but aka move on. What's your message? Do you tell them to walk out, or do you tell them to fight for?
Me, what I'll tell you is, don't die in someone's house. By the way, don't die. It's true.
Wewe kama umeolewa, my friend, pigana kwanza.
Let me tell you, I cannot tell a woman. You know, let me tell you, this is not even about women only, even for men. You know, right now, I'm going to tell you something. Probably, women don't say it. I have friends, that I can count, men, that who have had it. It is not, as women, we want to say that we are the ones who suffer. Even as we take men through suffering. So this is not about a woman or a man. I'm saying whether it's a man or a woman, and what you're going through is toxic.
So a question. So he was cheating, but he was not physical.
He was physical.
He was physical?
Yes.
Okay, that's another case. That's now, that's don't, usipigwe, you will support. Someone who is physical, usiuliwe kwa nyumba. But I'm thinking kama angecheat mara moja mngekaa chini.
Alikuwa amecheat mara mingi nikamshika.
Mara mingi? Yo basi ni God case.
Is a pathological cheat.
Kama ni pathological cheat. Huyu my friend.
Na probably anakuanga nini yako so ataona.
Ni msho ni fan wangu. Kama ni fan wangu mimi sina makosa, zidi kunisupport. God bless you. Mimi sina makosa yote. Nakuombea
abadilike.
Ubadilike, because what I can say is that no one who is clean kama theluji. We all have dents, but one thing, usiwahi piga mwanamke. To men who are following me, don't ever hit your woman. Don't ever. Don't even think about that. Men who hit women are weak. Don't ever hit a woman. Anyway, God bless you. Leo tuko na my sister hapa. Number, you can, he's still going. Ako na clinics. As you can see, hawezi tembea sana. Lazima tumie gari. Gari aliuza. For now, she's not doing well. Ana job. Ako na bili za kulipa. So let's support her. Number ni 0722
287433.
07
22 28 7433.
Nataka because leo tuna celebrate watu wa support kutoka Baruthi wa Thayu, Pastor Ben Mofam na Karangu kwa dokitania goka. So Karangu pia tunaweka kwa list. Tunakushukuru in advance kama kuja, and all people who have been supporting, tunashukuru sana. Na all Kenyans, God bless you. I know you don't give because you have a lot, but you sacrifice. And that's why pia tuna request your support. Nataka pia tukimalizia uongee na wale wamekusupport, waambie asante, na pia waambie watu pia is a long journey, bado tunaendelea na hospitali, they can still support you.
Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who has supported me. Pastor Ben and your friends, Mofam, Dama spares. I want to say thank you to my landlord because I think he's my biggest supporter also.
Wow.
My landlord, anaitwa Albert.
God bless you. Na Dama spares. Asante sana.
And I want to say thank you to also, there's a group called Bypass Fraternity. Bypass Community. It's
Bypass Fraternity.
Yes.
Wow.
It's a Bypass Fraternity. So
should I mean join?
You should join. They even have a circle here. You should join.
Wow, I'm joining.
Yes, it's a very good. It's a group for men only, and there are people who have supported me.
I'm joining.
Yes, please join. There are people who will support your cause. You
Bypass.
Yes, it's called.
Community.
They call themselves Bypass Business Community, SBBC. Business Community. They are based there at Greensport Towers. So I want to thank those ones. I also want to thank my personal friends, and without forgetting followers and friends of Baruthi wa Thayu and Baruthi wa Thayu mwenyewe. I don't know what I would have done without Baruthi. He's Kayamurathime. May he never lack. Yes.
God bless you.
Yeah.
Asante sana. And to all Kenyans, God bless you. Apia tuambie bado journey. We are still going on.
Yeah, so I'm still going on with my clinics, and it's not easy. You know, people say that there are two things that take people to bankruptcy: a court case and illness.
So a court case
and illness. Yes, those ones. Yes, those ones drain you and drain you. You rather not have both and don't have money. You live a peaceful life. There's more money you get, you'll enjoy. But if you have either of those, it ended up badly for you. And since I would still ask people to keep on supporting me before I even get back on my feet, because it's still a process to get back on my feet. And they keep praying for me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And that's the number to support. And Anambia, she's still single. So
I'm still single.
She's still single. So God bless you. Na kama wewe ni mgonjwa tunakuombea. Amesema vitu mbili ndio zinarudisha watu nyuma: a court case na ugonjwa. If you're sick tunakuombea. Mungu akupe neema. Mungu akuponye. And believe it, you're healed. Na pia wale wako na court case, personally ndakuombea. Just believe it will be over. I know it's not easy. Najua inakula finances, but believe in God. Pray. Na your court case itakuja to an end. Na thank you for your support. As you support her pia muombe apate nafuu. Muombe pia kuna watoto wa sister yake wako hapa. Akona watoto zaidi ya 4 hapa. Some are adults na pia yeye ndio bado tegemeo. So tuzidi kumuombea. If you like to talk to her, there's a number on the screen. God bless you, and I can only tell you, Mungu akubariki na Mungu akuzidishi.